In the words of Miles Davis, if I can't leave anything on the table or leave part of me down there and said I actually made it a improvement, I probably don't need to sit down.
I first got to Prairie View in 1988. I worked with George Edwards and Larry Jones when the band was then called the Marching Band.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting Prairie View University's Marching Band.
During those years is when the development of the name the Marching Storm developed.
The band program here has really undergone an extensive process in terms of evolution. To have seen what it was, starting with 50 or, to 60 people, and I think at one point we were probably up to 400 people prior to the pandemic.
In many cases, a lot of students who embark upon or darken the doors of Prairie View may get their first connection, their first experience of college life by seeing the band. That is important. We hold our students to a much higher standard of responsibility that we believe that training is going to ultimately help them and enable them to be successful in life.
It's bigger than just grabbing a mic and yelling. It's actually me creating an impact and cultivating an experience by bringing words to, life and people together. A lot of what I do with announcing and with hosting events and everything that I do is requiring people engagement, human interaction. And because of the guidelines on COVID-19, a lot of that was put on pause.
We purchased a ultrasonic cleaner for the brass, especially because of COVID. It uses a solution that kills all bacteria and viruses, but it also cleans the horn in 3 minutes. So when it's on, obviously you won't be able to hear me, but it sounds like this. You submerge your horn in this solution and the ultrasounds, it cleans the horn better than any human could ever clean it in 3 minutes. Then you take it off and you rinse it out and your horn's clean. And that was a very large investment. I think it's like $20,000, but it's worth it. The students absolutely love it. They come and drop their horns in every 2 weeks, which also adds to the longevity of the instruments. We use technology for drill. We use the Ultimate Drill Book for our drill. We use Pieware to create the drills. So there's no paper involved in drill. So I'll formulate a drill and I'll put it in the Ultimate Drill Book, and they'll open their phone and they can push their mellophone number 2. They click on that and that's the only part they see. Or they can click off of it and see the whole drill. We've also implemented smart music as a way of checkoffs. We put the arrangements in, they go and test themselves. Smart music will judge them or grade them on note accuracy or pitch accuracy and rhythm. Then I can add a caveat where we go in and we listen for musicality. One of our crown jewels that we've come up with lately is the Flip app. And what's so phenomenal about this is that every student can read the music on their phone. It allows us to have control of the rehearsal. So whichever song I choose in this rehearsal, it updates their phone and that's what they're looking at. We bought 200 iPads. So students can come in and check out an iPad if they have a large ensemble so that all of the music is on the iPad. Now we made an investment in the field about 4 years ago. The striping and measuring, it was left up to the students and the band directors to go out and try to figure out how to mark off, 360 feet and do it in a square. And, even though we have a lot of engineering majors, that didn't always turn out well. A gentleman in SSC, which is our building and grounds portion of our campus, decided, well, there was a new product out you might want to check out. And the product is it's called line turf, where you have turf lines, and in between the turf lines you have natural grass. We are the first HBCU to actually invest in that. I'm ready for the world to see us use this and to see how we're able to make designs based on this geometry that's out there on that football field.
My favorite part about the job is seeing the smiles on their tired faces at the end of rehearsal, because it lets me know that we put in enough work, but they enjoyed every minute of it. We can't get hype in close proximities as we usually do, so we had to learn to adjust to that, and just taking all the rest of the precautionary measures such as masks and bell covers, and some of it is uncomfortable, but it's necessary. At the end of the day, as much as I love band, their lives and their health is more important and more paramount than anything. We love what we do, but we have to do it safely, because you're here in college marching band for only a limited time in your life, and we don't want to be irresponsible in that limited time in your life that could adversely affect you in the future. So we go above and beyond with the protective measures, the masks, the gloves, the hand sanitizer, the social distancing, the everything. And even though sometimes it can be a little taxing, it's necessary. The students understand that, the staff understand that, we buy into it, and we try to keep each other as safe as possible while doing what it is that we love.
COVID-19 has been a little damper on our parade. We're used to seeing each other for like 5-6 months at a time. We have this thing called the Marching Storm Magic, and this is not mandatory, but they're still showing up dedicated. It's really beautiful. Like, it's been life-changing for me. I never would have thought I would have seen the day of me being the assistant band director of the band that I marched in. Especially in college, like, what? It's a difference. So if it's gonna make a little girl from East Orange, a small town in New Jersey, change her whole life, it's gonna change your life too.
My name is Jimenez. I'm one of the assistant director of bands here at Prairie View. Hometown is Houston, Texas. So when I think about COVID, yes, it's a damper. It put a strain on us. It changed things on us, but it's an opportunity for us to really recoup, reinvent some things. We've expanded our access of technology for the students and given them resources that we didn't have before. So the same thing happened with the storm, is the fact that energy is still there, the desire is still there, but the inability existed. And so I'm excited to see how can we enhance instruction by doing some things that we implemented through COVID that will now enhance our opportunity to reach even more students. Have there been days where I question, can we do this? How are we going to do this? Of course, I think everybody has, especially in the music world where aerosol impacts and all those things came to mind. But I think of it now as, okay, where do we go from here? And how can we grow? How can we learn? How can we expand our opportunities to reach more students? But ultimately, I base it on they're here for an experience. And when they leave and walk that stage at Prairie View, I want them to always reflect back and say, one of the best parts of me attending Prairie View was being a part of the Marching Storm.
The fact that we didn't have football season, it made the semester go by so fast. We looked up and it was like, wow, it's Christmas. And there's been no football game. I felt really bad for our seniors. And I had a large group of seniors this year. This year was the 2017 class, which was a large class. And they were really looking forward to this being a breakout season for them. And it just, COVID took all of that away for them. And we did as much as we could to still maintain our connections. We had Zoom meetings, we worked out together, me in the garage with them, doing the exercises with me. They learned choreography via Zoom. They had little bonding sessions via Zoom. So we did as much remotely as we could, but as I'm sure you know, it's just not the same as being there with one another. They got to focus on some other things that they wanted to do that they may not have been able to do, during a regular band season. So there was some good that came out of it, but I think they've all become more mature.
So when I first joined the band, it was probably 2 weeks before the school sent everybody home to quarantine for COVID. Immediately, I would be receiving phone calls and emails from students, kind of in a panic, trying to figure out what's going on. We're trying to figure out what's going on as well. And you could definitely see from that time up until, I would say, very deep in the fall, the shifts of conversations that students would have.
My name is Marshalla Cherry.
My name is Deja Nichols.
I'm Wesley Walsh. I'm a 4-year member of the Black Foxes. I'm also a member of the Epsilon Psi chapter of Tau Beta Sigma National Honorary Band Sorority. Of course, we only had one game. We were supposed to have, I think, 3 or 4 games, 3 or 4 home games, and we were supposed to perform. But of course, COVID complications, things got canceled.
I'm from the best city, Houston, Texas. The Marching Storm has a really good policy to where we get tested 3 times per week, 3 different days. We send in our results. They make sure we set the appointment. So I feel like it did affect it, but I feel like we're pretty much resilient. We basically made it happen. We didn't have as many performances, but we still recording. We attend practice 3 days every week. The band attend practice 4 days. It's just like we getting it in.
I am a first-year Black Fox. This is my first year on the team. In my experience as a first-year member of this organization, I have been very happy about the way that they care about us. Like the professors, everybody, like our directors and everything, they have our best interest at heart, and I can always tell it. Like as soon as we walk through the door, hey, how you doing? Hope you have a nice day. They all try and get to know us, and it's just it's like a big warm hug. It's a warm welcome, and I'm very happy to be here.
It takes a real lady to be a fox.
It takes a real lady to be in the FOX.
I'm William Scott. I play drumline. We're both from Houston.
Yeah, I'm Sheldon, and I'm your drum captain. Most of our family came to Prairie View.
My dad was in the drum line, in the box. The amount of practice we've had lately has gone down drastically, which is weird, because you're so used to being tired at 10:30, but you get there and it's like, we're done. We come in, it's business, but it's also a family.
Everybody knows me. Whenever you need a tool, whenever you need something fixed, come to Twin. Come to me.
That Twin.
Yeah, come to me. Got this bad boy too.
Before COVID, practice consisted of coming here 5:30 at the latest. Sometimes it'd be before, if you gotta have sectionals. Come in here, of course doing like I said, the power hour, but we don't really get to do that like we used to, because usually it would be right here in this very room. All of us sitting right here, this close together.
Yeah.
Oh, we about to BTH. They know what that means.
My name is Amani Williams. I'm originally from Austin, Texas. I serve as trombone section leader. I want to be mostly into the Marching Storm because my band director, he came from Prairie View. The atmosphere, the people, the music, the energy, I loved it. Don't be afraid to do the thing that you want to do in life. Like if you know that you want to get to somewhere, like everything that's holding you back, just drop that. Like all the distraction, just not worth it because it's not gonna get you towards the goals that you want to achieve in life.
Oh, wow. Okay, so I'm medium. Look, Kelsey. Does everybody have a jacket?
So my name is Deja Nichols. I'm from Vancouver, Washington, and I'm the captain of the Twirling Thunder. I'm the oldest and I only have a little sister, so like when I came here, I didn't really know a lot of people, and they actually welcome you in, make you part of the family. And so when you have to go to class, you be like, oh, she's in band, he's in band, it helps you out. So it's like a big family. So most of the time, you come for summer camp and you get to meet everybody, be like, oh yeah, I miss you, let's do this, let's do that. We didn't get to have a summer camp, get together. And even when we have practices, everybody's isolated. So it's you don't really, you remember your people, but you don't get to be a part of them and hug them and get with your family and friends. So it's you really just be alone, isolated, sad.
COVID-19 has turned this band season upside down. That's the plain and simple answer. Last summer, we knew that the fall season was canceled, but we still had hopes for the spring season, and then that translated into, all right, we got some postponed games. Okay, so we still hopeful. And then that translated to all right, the postponed games are now postponed until further notice, which now turned into, as we know now, virtually no season. Basically, you got to think about it. From 2016, bond was every day, 6 days a week, and sometimes 7 days a week. So every single day I've been on this campus, except for this COVID period, I've been in bond practice. So you got to think about just basically the withdrawals. I mean, you just miss coming to the games. You just miss getting out there. You just miss doing the whole game, the halftime show, the fifth quarter. It's so much different aspects to the bond that's just completely gone.
Houston, Texas, it's the Prairie View A&M University Marching Storm. They're loud. Dr. Tim Zachary directs his band in its first appearance in a Macy's parade. Here's a nostalgic mega medley of some memorable retro tunes.
Macy's parade my freshman year. That was the best experience I ever had here. Overall, it was just like the build up towards it. We had these practices. It was so cold. And then practicing in New York, we were freezing, but we wanted to be there. I wanted to be there, and I was like, I'm gonna tough it out because this is a once in a lifetime thing. This was supposed to be my fourth, my last, and my best season. I was so heartbroken to find out that the season was, in a sense, canceled. I don't know, I was looking forward to Cotton Bowl, to homecoming, to all of it. Maybe Honda if we were able to go to it, but it is what it is, and I still had a good time. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't or that you shouldn't come to, an HBCU. I think it's been a really great experience being part of the Marching Storm. And if, you're doing what you love, playing your instrument, playing music, marching, doing a show, like I've been doing shows since high school, so this is what I lived for. So if you want to do it, come do it. Don't let anything stop you.
The Marching Storm teaches you a lot of things, like, they teach you how to persevere and get through the hardships and stuff like that. And the first time I saw the Marching Storm come to Townview in Dallas, it was just like, it was a movie. It was something that you cannot, just look at on camera. You have to be there to experience it. Without bass, really what is music? You know what I'm saying? That's just coming from me. Without the bass, what's music? You know what I'm saying? I'm coming from, like I said, I'm coming from Triple D. I love bass. You know what I'm saying? So the bass is very important. And being in that section, you have to build the foundation of the band. You know what I'm saying? So if the tuba section is not doing what they're doing, then the song is not going to feel like it should. I believe that the effect that COVID had on this year's season was recruitment, possibly. The Marching Storm usually travels and goes around to different parts of the world. So not being able to travel has probably hindered the recruiting. Getting started, about to get ready to go perform, play some music out there and have some fun, making sure my instrument is all intact, making sure my tuning slides work, all my valves are oiled up, making sure I have all the proper things that I need in order to be able to play and be able to be safe during COVID-19. That's one of the important things that the Storm keeps embedded in our rules and how we regulate during COVID-19 is to make sure that we are safe.
Hey, that's what happens sometimes, you know what I mean? But like they say, it never rains on the storm, so we're gonna get back out there in a minute. It never rains on the storm. We're gonna keep pushing it, even in the rain. Sleet or snow.
I was kind of happy, but but I was kind of sad because it could ruin my instrument, and I don't want to pay for that. So yeah.
That's it. It's not giving what it's supposed to be. I'm ready to start dancing. I'm ready to get it started.
Oh man, the rain don't stop nothing. It don't rain on the storm. We just go reconvene with it like we're doing right now. Running it back. Let's go, folks! Thank you, sir.
I had a conversation with one of the administrators recently, and I told her, I said, you know, COVID for a band director is like juggling knives. Now you're good at it, and you can do it every day, so you can do it. But the problem is, if you divert any part of your attention, I don't care how good you're at this, you're talking about a major mishap. And that's what COVID has been like for us.